Oh, landmines and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess. And hey, kids, how about that skibbity toilet riz? That's pretty cool, right? But Air Conditioning Watch 2024. We are on day 7 with no air conditioning. It's been 87 degrees in the house. Balls! It's hot as balls. But for the last week, I've been carrying the SOG Terminus XR. Let's take a quick look at what we got. So first things first, and most importantly, the pocket clip is tip up, which is the Lord's carry. We have got Crimson G10 on the scales. They made it important to say Crimson in the listing. We got a flipper tab. Let's flick the bean. And we got an axis lock. So if you're just getting here and you haven't seen the last video I did on this, the first impression on this one and all that, let's get a quick rundown of what had happened. So I bought this one a few years ago, and I wanted to carry it so badly. I liked everything I saw about it, but this pocket clip is straight garbage. So this thing made it really, really hard to carry, and you check out the last video, I'll go into a deep dive on this. But I called and asked for this pocket clip, which should have fixed the problem. They ran me around and made me wait like 8 months, and I had to call them back and, get the order put back in, and they sent me the wrong one anyways. And at Blade Show this year, I explained what happened, and they gave me this one for free. So they made it right. It just took like a year and some change. So, this thing was also in the Hall of Shame. This is one of the biggest disappointments I've had with spending money on something. If I buy like a $30 knife, I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm rolling the dice on. Fair enough. But I spend like 55 bucks on something. That's where the quality should start picking up a little bit, in my opinion. It's still on the budget end, but for guys like me and most of the guys watching this, that's still a fairly large swing to take. So, yeah, our property value ain't that high here, guys. But, this thing, the other thing that happened is he gave this thing to me, and it had a very dull edge on it because I believe it was a display model. So, I got to carry one that I put my own edge on, and we ran it through the magical 15 degrees, I believe, on the Work Sharp. Nice mirrored edge. And by the way, the questions I had about the edge on the steel wheel cut jack, no, it wasn't over polished. It didn't have enough tooth to it. This thing blasted through all the plastic wrap on pallets, everything, like it was cutting water. Like, it did fantastic. So, the biggest question here was whether or not the new pocket clip on this fixed this problem, and it absolutely did. All right, I carried this in the waistband. It was perfectly fine, and it spent more time in the pocket. Like, I'm starting to gravitate towards not carrying in the waistband outside of a few hours to see if there's some rubbing or hot spotting or anything else that might show up somewhere else, especially if other guys can't carry in their pocket easily. But, this thing rode in the pocket, and I'm not sure what's happening, but maybe some brass or something is rubbing off on these things. Like, it washes off really easy, but this is the second knife I've put the brown marks on, which, by the way, one of the reasons you should keep a backup knife in your car or something like that, like I forgot this one day, and I was able to go in the center console of the truck and pull out the SOG Kiku clone that Rich over at Ace on Knives sent me. I don't think he knew it was a clone. I didn't know it was a clone until someone pointed it out, but I had something to back me up with. There was something there for me to carry, and I could grab it if I forgot something, and I did. That's why it was there. But this thing, and again, I gave it a nasty, nasty run through some cardboard, some really heavy double wall stuff at work, and it just blazed right through it, which was mostly that nice shiny edge, that worked great. And, if you didn't see the live stream, this thing on the factory edge took next to no time to really wear out and start cutting the cardboard like teetotal crap. So we put a new edge on it and went back in on it, and it did pretty good. I'd have to go look up the Aftermath video, but if you want to see more about it, the Aftermath, Cardboard Slayer Aftermath playlist has everything we've done a live stream on and what happened immediately after. So the information is there. But yeah, so yes, this solves a problem. If you buy a new Terminus XR because you like what you see here, this pocket clip solves every problem that this had. And it's of course got that axis lock, and I really love fidgeting with this thing. It's got that weird stop that some guys hate, but not me. I love this thing. So this, had I gotten this instead of this, I would have been delighted, and this would have been a Hall of Fame. Like, this is, probably one of the best EDC knives that I've got that, it's a low enough price that I'm not scared of beating on it a bit, but it's nice enough that I'm not ashamed of it. Like, I don't feel bad about going, hey, check this thing out. And, two of the guys at work are serious knife guys, and I'm like, hey, check out the mirrored edge. Now, one of them That blew up in my face so bad. He was like, I'm letting him check out the Vosteed prototype, and so he's looking at that, and I show him the Terminus XR. I'm like, hey, check out the mirrored edge. He's like, oh yeah, that's awesome. It's mirrored. You know, I got one of those systems. I can't think of what it is. It's got the two things, and you do this, and it's like, you got a wicked edge. All right. I have just got the Work Sharp Precision Adjust Elite. And you couldn't remember what the wicked edge was, and you think your wife may have thrown it away when you were moving. I'm not a jealous man. I'm not a jealous man. But yeah, so I mean, this is really a long-winded ramble, just kind of getting into the nitty-gritty about one problem. You know, we're kind of going a little bit too deep in on one problem. But, you know, this fixes it. So if you're looking at buying one of these and you see this pocket clip on it, absolutely not. Do not. You know, like I said, just this pocket clip grabs cloth. It will not let go of it. It is an absolute nightmare to try to carry with, whereas this is an absolute pleasure. This thing did phenomenally well. You know, this is definitely just a good, solid daily driver. And I could daily drive this thing for months and be perfectly happy if I wasn't rotating through so much stuff so fast that I forget what I carried 2 weeks later. So that's kind of an overview about what happened with this and about this problem being solved and SOG finally coming through for me and fixing this issue, finally. But yeah, and all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. Y'all are still coming in. I appreciate it so much. If you haven't dropped by a live stream, check one out. I'm doing one tomorrow on Thursday. That's going to start at 4 p.m. Drop by and hang out. You know, we see what the edge of a knife can take, and we have fun, and I get to hang out with you guys. Comments, I love some feedback. Let me know what you think about this difference and the contrast and comparison here, or if you got one of these, either one, let me know how that treated you. All that being said, y'all have a nice day.